All right. Welcome to Storm the Field, Kansas State. Tonight we are talking K-State basketball because the men and women have a doubleheader. The women picked up the win 86 to 68 over the Creighton Blue Jays. And we move on to the men's game. And this is going to be a lot of fun, especially for me because I spent a lot of the time last year going to a bunch of home games, went to all but three of them. And after every one of those games, I got the privilege of talking to a bunch of the players, but I always made sure to talk to Cam Carter. So, in lieu of his return to Bramlage with LSU, we're rocking the signed Cam Carter jersey. So, a lot of love to Cam Carter. Nothing but the best for him. And we cannot wait to see what he does in his return to the Bram. So, how are you feeling about the this new Storm the Field adventure? Because it's a lot of fun for me.
Oh man, this is awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's just something that, everyone can get together and it's something better, more other than Barstool, because Barstool's kind of just like, college. You get the full sports, basketball, football, just everything that your school can offer. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And, just being able to have fun with our teams and, with other fans from other teams, just getting together and building a community that we can rely on and, we can just be a big family. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's super cool, especially being early, like hopefully this thing will grow and get bigger and bigger.
Oh, yeah. No, I have a feeling it's growing. There's a few of them that's already over 100 followers now. And, what is that? The second day. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Oh. I'm hoping that K State tonight can use their big men effectively. That's something that we watched a lot of last year was they struggled really bad down low trying to get rebounds and stuff, and I think that this team is better equipped to go get rebounds, and I think that they're going to be a lot deeper as a team, and without all of the off the court distractions this team is going to be a lot better than it was last year. Shout out to Starbucks for the red cup today. Today only, you get your free red cup. Starbucks, if you're listening, we're looking for sponsors, so hit us up. Oh. And one of the things that we might get to see tonight is Ashore playing in his first game. And that's going to be exciting just to see what he brings to the table because we haven't got to see him in any of the games yet. We're hoping that he becomes a major contributor to this team. And it's about time for tip off. I'm going to go ahead and get it turned on so I can at least have it going in the background. Wow, Oklahoma State up on Southern Illinois 38 to 37 at halftime. Oklahoma State, get it together. We need Big 12 wins in a big way, especially in the non-conference cuz in the when it comes time for conference play, it's going to be rough for everybody cuz every team in the Big 12 is going to be competitive this year. Oh, yeah. Shout out to all of our friends that actually got to make it to the game. I was bummed that I wasn't able to, but it's going to be a lot of fun. The Amarillo assassin, man, can he shoot? And from what I've heard, he has the absolute green light to go ahead and shoot the ball as much as he pleases because when he gets hot, he can knock them down at a high percentage. David Gasson tip, got it. Oh, and alley-oop to David Gasson right off the bat. That's exactly what we needed. And one thing that I'm hoping for this season is not to have as much standing around the 3-point line and just stagnant offense like we had last year. Because if it wasn't for that, we could have scored a lot more points and we could have taken advantage of a lot more opportunities that we just didn't weren't able to take advantage of. Dougie, Dougie buckets, Doug McDaniel knocking down a great mid-range shot. And that's something that, we have to be able to do too. He got around the screen just perfectly and, popped it up just right in rhythm. And that's exactly what we need to do. Great passing. And David Gasson nailing a three. Wow. And that's something that apparently he's been working on a lot in the off season, and it's great to see because he's got a lot of skills. And when he can sit out there and shoot the three when he's set and is smooth, he can knock them down now. Apparently, because last year, anytime he went to the outside, there wasn't anybody within 10 feet of him. They were letting him shoot as much as he wanted to if he got it out there. He was not a threat. Pulled up a stat here on ESPN that their only non-conference home loss was at Nebraska or was against Nebraska last year. And I was at that game, and that game was absolutely brutal. There was no reason for that team to have lost that game or any of the other ones that we did last year. But I think it literally all comes down to the off the field issues becoming too much of a distraction for this team to have overcome last year. And we're hoping, really, really hoping that there is absolutely no off the field issues at all this year. That we can just focus on our basketball and focus on making the NCAA tournament. Because honestly, last season was a huge letdown compared to our expectations going into the season. That was kind of a cheap foul, but I really do feel bad for Cam and the way he left because he got a lot of heat from the fans because of, just how last season went. It just didn't go the way that we expected it to go. And a lot of the fans took that out on him because he didn't play as good as he could have. But we are huge Cam Carter fans. We thank him for every moment that he played in Lavender for the Wildcats. Uh, and man, that was so, so tough on us as fans and on Cam. That very last home game that they played when he didn't have much to say after the game. He was just kind of, you could just tell he was bummed, and he walked around, he didn't say much, and before he walked into the locker room, he kind of just looked off into the distance out towards where we were at over by the parents section, and he looked over in our direction. You could just tell the look on his face of absolute devastation
Mhm.
was incredibly heartbreaking as a fan just to have to see that. And I felt the emotions he was going through in that moment. And for him to have to leave Bramlage and K State in that way, uh, it was just really, really tough. But it's great to see him back here again. Can we get back to the Super Bowl commercials? Because these are lame.
That Snoop commercial was pretty awesome.
I didn't see
Wait,
that
oh,
one.
I'm watching a stream of it.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up on my
Yeah,
iPad. So
I got that right now. I got that Liberty wax melting.
that that
Yeah.
one's all right. I wish I had a wax figure myself. Yeah, they're bringing up how Cam Carter started, all the games in the last two seasons, last year and the year before. The year before we went down to Stillwater. The last two
Mhm.
years we did actually for the game down there, and uh it was the first time I actually got to
Mhm.
meet Cam because we went down on the court after the game and he was doing the post game interview. And so after that, I talked to him for a minute, and it was one of the coolest things as a fan just to go down and walk around with the players and their families and stuff, after the game. And Stillwater is one of my absolute favorite places to go to an
Yep.
away game because number one, their fans are absolutely nicer than can be. And yeah, we'll talk a bunch of trash as I found out the hard way when we went to the game in Stillwater last year. I sat right next to the student section, and Cam Carter came out and hit a big shot to start the game. So I got excited and I yelled, I screamed, I was like, "Yeah, let's go, Cam!" And then everything fell apart for us. Well, after that, every big shot that they made, the student section turned, directed their yells directly at me, and that set off the entire stadium. It wasn't full, but it was loud as could be in there because I pissed off the student section.
Oh man, that's an
Oh, but
unforgivable crowd.
afterwards, oh, I know. It was awesome. But afterwards we all, talked for a little bit, shook hands, we're all nice as can be, friendly as can be afterwards. But in the game, it was game on.
Yeah. Friends after the game, not during the game. It's awesome.
Exactly. It was one of the best atmospheres I've ever been a part of. And even though we didn't get the win, I that was probably one of my, top 10 favorite games.
That's awesome.
Get there. Oh, you got to finish at the rim. Come on. Wow. They're on a 7-0 run. Get it, Dougie? Nice finish. Nice finish. And that's one thing I'm excited for too, is to not see Tyler Perry dribble out the clock and then jack up a random three at the end of the shot clock. Because I love Tyler Perry. He's a great guy, but that got really annoying
Mhm.
a lot of times last season. And I think this team is going to be a lot better because we don't have. I think our offense is going to be spread out a lot more this year instead of Tyler Perry or Arthur Kaluma just forcing shots that were bad shots and they just had to make them right at the shot end of the shot clock. This team's going to get better spacing, and once they get to play more games as a team, it's going to be a lot more fun to watch. Oh, travel.
Get out of here. Thanks for having me on for the short amount of time I was here today, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Storm the field, Penn State. Everybody, do not forget to go like all of our Storm the Field accounts. They are wonderful. Thanks for coming on.
Have a good one, man.
You too. Thank you. Sure, sure. On the court for the Wildcats. Excited to see him play this year. Pretty good defense. Come on, guys. And to be fair, I don't think that Ashore is the one we want out there shooting the threes, but it's one of those heat check. You can't know if you're hot unless you shoot it. Ooh, that was a deep one. And he knocked it down. Let's go, State. Oh, and you gave up a backdoor cut. Oof. Another three. Knocked it down again. Let's go, State. Woo. Let's go, guys. Good passing by LSU to knock down a three. Just because you made it, don't just shoot them for fun. Get good shots. There you go, David Gasson. And Dougie set him up perfectly. David Gasson is showing a lot of growth this season from last year, and it is absolutely awesome to see the way this team has been playing. Hopefully, we are leading by a lot more than, excuse me, a lot more than one at halftime. Dougie McBuckets, man, you can't say enough about him hitting those big time threes. This is exactly what this team needs. They need to be able to shoot the three, they need to be able to rebound, and they have the potential to do both of those things very, very well, depending on how they play together as a team. Shout out to Joe Tillery. He has some great, great K State content. Do not forget to look him up, subscribe to him on YouTube, shoot him a follow on here at Tillery underscore Joe. A great, great dude. Make sure to show him all the love that you can. Carter Schaefer, too, another up and comer. Sidelines, Kansas State, another huge shout out to them. 785 Sports Kansas State as well. All of those guys are absolute powerhouses in the world of Kansas State sports. So we want to give a huge shout out to all of those guys. And I cannot forget, go like, follow, subscribe on YouTube, on here, everywhere to at Tree City Sports, because Tree City Sports is what is making this show tonight possible. We normally cover the Ottawa Braves for the football season and going into the basketball season, but we're here to cover our K State Wildcats because, as every of our Tree City sports fans know, we love the Big 12. We love K State. We're here for all of it. And being able to join the Storm the Field crew is absolutely incredible. I want to thank you guys so much. Oh, hey, it's Fritz. You're the man, my man. Huge shout out to you guys. BYU fan A, Ollie, you're my man. You guys keep being great. Let's make Storm the Field the next great network. Come back from the break and Cam shot, but missed. And ashore committed a foul. Can't can't foul down low when you're going after rebounds, guys. We got this. It's early in the game, early in the season. There's plenty of time left. We got this. No doubt. No doubt. Realize my mic has been muted for the last couple minutes. My bad. David Gasson with the finish and the foul down low. Great job by him, but we're down 27 to 23. Let's go state. Hopefully this team can gel together better and make a run towards the end of the first half. And we got AJ's head and shoulder joining us. What's up, bud? How are you doing tonight?
Watching the cats, it's something special. Um, Still gelling, so team will take a little bit, obviously, but you know what? We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, no, I like some of the things that I'm seeing from this team, and I think that once that they get more comfortable together, it's going to be a lot better. And uh not seeing I'm seeing a little bit of standing around on the offensive side, but not near as much as we had last year. Because last year that was absolutely brutal in almost every single game. There was way too much of it.
Yeah, and I think even on the defensive side, like there's a lot of double teams that don't seem completely intentional, double triple teams that we get caught in the paint under the bucket. And I know there was one just a few minutes ago where they were just kicking it out left, right, and center and can't do anything to stop them. But I mean, just different transfers and play styles and whatnot. I mean, this is probably one of the bigger flaws that I'd see with Tang's idea of going out and just getting a whole bunch of players in the transfer portal is they all come from different backgrounds, different play styles, and it takes a while, like I said earlier, for them to gel together and just find the game. But you know what? It'd be exciting, especially if we get a team like we did in 22.
Yeah, exactly. And to your point, yeah, it's gonna take a lot to get them gelled together because of how much different their playing styles at their previous stops were when they come from other colleges. Those coaches are trying really hard to instill their game plan. Well, if they transfer somewhere else, they have to unlearn that game plan and learn a whole new one. And it can be tough on the entire team.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm trying to get logged in ESPN Plus. I forgot the password, so I'm gonna have to go grab that one quick.
Oh, and Cam just hit a big three. You're in the wrong color of purple, buddy. That thing is a year ago. I would have been so excited to see that big time Cam Carter three. And now I'm just sad.
We'll probably have to deal with a lot more of that tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that we will. You think he had this game circled?
Uh, I mean, you kind of have to, right? Um, and I'm sure
Exactly.
there's probably no harm in his eyes against Tang and the Cats. It's just he was looking for a better opportunity. As he should. And no real hate to him, but like I'd love to have him back in Manhattan, but I guess it wasn't meant to be.
Well, yeah, and it was part of his decision in that was he wanted to be closer to home. He's from there in Louisiana. And that was part of his decision to leave is to be closer to home and to his mom. I got to talk to her at one of the games last year, or two of the games last year, and super, super nice lady, a great family. Everybody in his family is super respectful and a great people to talk to.
I mean, that's probably one of the first instances I've heard of that, and of course, it's transferring's all over the place. There's nothing you can really keep up with everything, but closer to home is one of the more reasonable ideas I've heard for transferring.
Yeah, his mom had made the comment that, they love him playing for K-State. They just wish that it was a little bit closer for him. And, like I said, that was the main reason why he decided to transfer to LSU. About 6 minutes to go in the first half and down 8. Not where we thought we would be at in this point of the game.
And
It was super awesome to see us get the Willie back from the banner. Oh, that was a bad pass.
yeah, I I feel like I had heard that story earlier in the year, um, and I just completely it slipped my mind, and then popped up this morning on the timeline. Yeah, that's really exciting. It's definitely a more crude drawing of what we would think of Willie today.
Yeah, it definitely gives truth to the word retro.
Yeah, 100%.
Damn, Cam just drew a really good foul on Coleman Hawkins. Again, if that was on the other side, I'd be cheering so hard.
And that's probably one of the things that might come back to bite us in this game is Cam knows what K State's gonna do. He knows Tang's play style, how he's gonna play everybody. And obviously, he's not gonna know all the new transfer strengths, but it's probably he'll have a night. He'll have a night for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know that he's very well prepared for this game considering the fact that he played in every game for 2 straight years for us. I mean, he is no stranger to this offensive system in any way.
And we're still struggling to find points.
Oh, you know who I talked to a while back? It was kind of cool. Uh I talked to and I was sad that he didn't get to play much, but halfway through the season, when they found out they had an open scholarship because of the Naquan situation, then they gave the scholarship to Taymont Lindsay. I thought that was a really cool deal. He didn't get to play much. He was a walk on, but he got the scholarship, and it was just a feel good deal. I got to talk to him a while back, and he's going to join our other show at some point. And so we're going to have to get him on here to talk K State basketball as well.
I I wish I was as excited about that as I was about the housing three there. And I
Yeah.
think we just had a player run into the tunnel. Not
That's exactly what I was about to say. I'm pretty sure that he just said, "Nope, it's halftime. I'm ready to go in."
Yeah, that's definitely a new one.
Yeah. Hey, he was showing hustle. So much hustle he couldn't stop.
Just make sure there's no cheerleaders in the way. Oh, here's a replay.
Or cameraman.
Yeah, in the screen.
The bad thing was is that he slowed up to try and get in the guy's way and then took off running towards the tunnel.
Yeah, yeah. I think the message at this point, just going into half, is just find a stride in the last 5 minutes. Because what they're on a 17-3 run or something crazy like that. I mean, just the
Yeah, we
score.
haven't scored in, 4 minutes almost.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit longer.
Yeah, and they can't finish at the rim. Why take that shot, kick it out, and set up some offense there?
Yep, there it is. 1 of 9 in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
Now, what's the odds that this game goes to overtime and we get to see some of the Tang magic?
I I think I'd prefer this season to be completely the opposite from last and have as little overtime as possible.
Yeah, not every other game go to overtime and have to worry about it.
Exactly.
That Baylor game was brutal. It was electric inside Bramlage, but on your just on your anxiety,
Yeah.
it was absolutely brutal.
Yeah,
There we go. Finally finished down low.
I vaguely remember that game, and I think it was Kaluma had the game-winning shot or the send it to overtime
Yep.
four-point shot. That was just, I mean, that was up there for moments of the season for sure. Because that,
Nice seal.
oh
Oh, that
goodness,
was a hell of a move, and he couldn't finish though.
yeah, this is gonna suck because I think I'm about 5 or 6 seconds ahead of you, and I was just holding it in because I thought he was gonna finish that and he was gonna be Sports Center top 10 tomorrow morning.
That should have been with that move. I mean, damn. But yeah, no, that Baylor game, that was the one game last year that I got my dad to go with me. And he goes, I like seeing them win, but I don't like watching these games that make you stress that much. I told him, I was like, it's kind of like watching the Chiefs every game, isn't it? And he goes, yeah, it is. Not called the cardiac cats for nothing.
Exactly, exactly. Did we end up with like 9 or something last year? Or some ridiculous number of overtime games? I don't think it was 9. I think we've won 9 straight.
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6 or something
Yeah,
like that, and it was ridiculous, and I think that I was there for most of them. That's the sad part.
yeah. I think I like I said earlier, we do not need any more of those this year.
Yeah, I'd rather win by 40 and not worry about anything. Starbucks, if you're still watching, we're still looking for sponsors, so there's an opportunity, don't miss out.
Big brand here, big brand.
National brands.
I'd almost go as far as saying international at this point. What are we sitting at? 60 some followers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
we'll get there. You gotta,
Pretty good for one
there
day.
you go. You gotta start somewhere.
The bad thing is I know for a fact that this count is gonna grow so much bigger than my other one.
Is I was kind of confused when I saw it. Is Storm the Field something like a bar stool or a old row
Yeah,
program or
yeah, exactly. That's kind of what we're going for, and I'm the first one to officially start the podcast on it. But I since I have my other podcast, my Tree City Sports podcast, I was like, you know what? I can make a podcast out of this. I'll make something good out of it, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
that's what I thought. I might have seen it. I think I saw something from the parent account about it, but they were looking for people. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, and we had a a huge amount of people reach out to us about joining, and I think that we've got like 15, I think it was 23 teams is what we have already in one day. So it's grown a lot, and we're trying as hard as we can to go through the vetting process and make sure that we have the right people representing our brand moving forward.
That's that's probably one of the harder parts is growing the parent brand, because really you can't go anywhere without that.
Yeah, exactly. And, that's one of my hopes in doing this podcast is to help spread the Storm the Field name out there. And, I'll release it under my Tree City Sports YouTube until, we actually get our page set up for it. But, it's one of those deals that the quicker we get stuff out, the more we get stuff out, the more people is going to be drawn to the brand. And we've already had some great responses from some really, really big K-State accounts already. So we've got traction and it feels good in the very beginning, honestly.
Yeah, and all that's going on. We're just getting cooked left, right, and center.
I I know I'm trying to distract myself from the score here
That's
because this is brutal.
that's a good idea. I mean, I didn't see who it was, but we just got. Oh, they're gonna show a replay here, maybe.
Yep.
I think it was McDaniel's had the center just right underneath him and just threw the ball hard as he could, and then turned into this. Oh boy, this is already shaping up to be
Oh,
a long night.
yeah, that's a classic Cam Carter dunk. And to be fair, I'll take the blame for Cam having a big night, considering the fact I'm wearing his signed jersey tonight. But, you know, you take those chances.
Yeah, I mean, I I don't really have completely amazing expectations for this year, just because there's so many transfers. I mean, we have no kept talent or no experienced talent in the program, and it's one of the harsh parts of the transfer portal. And we talked about it earlier. It's just there's there's so much you got to do to get these guys into the culture.
Yeah, exactly. And, when you're bringing in that many new, different styles together, and it's just tough in the very beginning of the season. Once you get into conference play, they're going to be a lot more comfortable playing together.
I mean, it's just so sloppy at this point.
I know it's like turnover after turnover. It literally the same as it was last year. And I've repeated myself on this show that we can't keep doing the same things we did last year. And that's something that we were excited for going into the season, that maybe we wouldn't see these sloppy turnovers and just bad play from this team.
Yeah, and I don't know how we're only sitting at 5 turnovers right now, because it seems like we've been that every possession has ended up in missed shot or just something wrong, which I mean it has, but
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like we haven't had opportunities to score. It's just that we haven't been able to take advantage of it. Now there,
that's
Howson
that's what we
knocked
need to
down that
see.
three, but we need someone to get hot and stay hot from out there. We can't have any Jay Crowder type players, where either you're really hot from the three or you absolutely brick everything.
And just through the first couple games, I mean it's nothing against either of the players, but there's a little bit of similarity between Hausen and or Nigel Pack, for instance, for me is they're really really good deep ball shooters, or even not really Marquise, but they're really good deep ball shooters. They just take a little bit to warm up, and you have to waste those possessions just getting those shots up. Just seeing one fall through takes a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And, they have to get that confidence. Well, you have to shoot to get that confidence. Now, I'm curious to see how this ends up if they called the foul before the clock ran out. But are we gonna guess we're in the bonus, so we'll be able to shoot.
If we, I mean, if we even hit a free throw at this point.
Yeah, we're lucky we're not down 20. Caleb Bridge is also someone that I'm hoping has a big year this year.
Yeah, ooh, that was not good. I think we need a couple of breakout players because you won't be able to rely on Hawkins and McDaniel and Housen all year, and it might go back to what we saw last year. Is we had Kaluma and we had Gasson, and we leaned on those guys way too much throughout the years, and no, but oh, that almost went in. Oh, I mean, almost everything has fallen for LSU at this point.
Oh man. Yeah, I wouldn't have been shocked if that had went in, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but we we just need somebody to have, like you said, a breakout year, and he would be the guy to do it. Just give us depth at any point of the game.
Yeah. And the funny thing about our deficit at halftime of 12 points, 43 to 31, is the fact that Cam Carter himself has 12 points. He is literally the difference in this game for K State. I mean, what more can you say about him?
And or we'll probably say this a lot more tonight, but he's going to be the unfortunate difference in this game.
Yeah, exactly. He is going to be a huge difference in this game. And, his defense I've always thought his defense was pretty decent. I mean, he makes some difficult decisions as a fan to watch, but I mean, he's not a bad defender. And there's a reason why LSU has no problem bringing him home.
It'll be interesting to see how he does throughout the years, um, and or at least through this year. He's a senior, correct, or junior,
He's a
senior?
senior.
Okay,
He's a senior. Yeah.
yeah. So I I would expect him to definitely be a leader on this team, and I will not take any credibility of knowing LSU basketball or LSU sports in general, but or who they even have on their team. But I think Cam will definitely be that one or two guy for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, he's only gonna get better. And one of the things that makes it fun is we got really, really lucky that we were able to see him play against K State one last time in Bramlage. But maybe if things work out that way, maybe we get to play against him again in March Madness. So we can look forward to that at least.
I hate to say it, but if the season turns out like this game, I think we'd be unfortunately lucky to get into March Madness because this is it like it should be at least 20.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is not a great first half, but again, it's early in the season, and it is only the end of the first half, not the end of the game. So if we're still down by, if we end up being down by 20 at the end of the game, yeah, we're going to have a different outlook on this season for sure. We're going to be questioning a lot of things, but I don't think that, I think it will be a lot closer in the end. I think that they're going to have a better second half for sure. And and as to point out, if we have to send it to overtime, we will do that and we'll win. So we feel good about that at least, hopefully. Ugh.
I think I don't want to say it's an offensive or defensive side at this point because it's all over the court really that we're struggling. But I'm honestly surprised that we're only sitting at what, 5 turnovers right now? Yeah, 5. And they're killing us on the fast breaks, just getting down the court, getting set, and then scoring and going back and doing it again. Um, and that's gonna be probably one of the many nails in the coffin if we can't get past that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just one part of the floor we're struggling in. It's everywhere on this floor that we're struggling. And if we can't corral that, we're very easily looking at a 25 point loss. Hopefully, the thing that makes me feel a little better is in the other game where they had, what was it, 9 turnovers when they hadn't had anything less than 10 turnovers at all last year. If we can keep our average turnovers under about 8 or 9, I think that we'll be a lot better off as opposed to 10 being our absolute ceiling.
Yeah, and we didn't play bad against Cleveland State. I mean, it definitely was not great because I believe we went right back into that 10 plus turnovers. Yeah, we set 19 turnovers against, not a bad team, but not somebody that we should be turning the ball over 19 times to.
Yeah, not a power four team, it's not a team that you pride yourself. If you play them, you realistically expect to beat them by 30 or 35, not make it as close as it was and not turn the ball over 19 times like you said.
And really the only two ways to counteract that is be really good on offense and make the most of the chances that you do get, or get back on defense, dig in, have a good possession, and just make sure that you're not letting them capitalize on those turnovers, especially if they're going to be that numerous.
Yeah, exactly. Because, if even if they score 2 points off of each one of those 19 turnovers, that's 38 points right there. Just that you're giving them free points. And that's the margin that you expect to beat a team like that by. So you're not going to have good success when you turn the ball over that frequently. Well, I think that we're going to end this very first, very special episode of Storm the Field, Kansas State. I am your host, CJ McClure, the Tree City Sniper, reporting for Tree City Sports. AJ's Head and Shoulders, thank you so much for joining us. He's going to be jumping on the page helping out. So it's going to be great to have him join the team. Uh, any final thoughts from you?
I think we've been saying it back and forth all night is we just need to clean up both sides of the ball. And we're just reiterating points at this point, um, making sure that this team is able to communicate. Defense needs to step up, and no shame against LSU. They're playing amazingly right now. But we got work to do. We got a lot of work to do. especially if we want to have a successful season. But other than that, go Cats.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a long season and we're just getting started. So hopefully we will be able to mesh together and play well down the stretch and make an actual run towards the NCAA tournament and throughout the NCAA tournament. So we had a lot of success 2 years ago. Let's go even further this year because we do have the talent. It's just a matter of using that talent to the best of our abilities. Thank you guys so much for joining this first episode. We'll be back later. Stay tuned. There's a lot more coming from Storm the Field, Kansas State. This will be edited, uploaded to YouTube later, so stay tuned. Go like and subscribe Tree City Sports to catch up on that. Until next time, y'all take care now. Go Cats.